Hello, we made it work. How good is that?
Please introduce yourself, Britt.
I will. Hang on one second. I am just getting some beautiful lighting. There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Britt Furlanis, as Tim just said. I am currently in Woodford, the beautiful, like, motherly space up here in Queensland. And oh, it's great to see you too, Laura. Thank you so much for being here. I've loved watching your journey this year. And yes, I am an equestrian athlete, and I have done a lot of breath
Equestrian.
work.
Is that a star sign, Britt?
Equestrian?
Is that a star sign?
Maybe? Should it be? Should we introduce it as that? And I have been using the breath since, I'd say, I was speaking to someone about this the other day. I think 2017, 2018 is when I started working with the breath. And I came across Tim a few years later. And now I just have it so incorporated into my everyday life that I don't even notice that I'm doing breath work. I just use it when I need to regulate, to release, to focus, to like it's it's really
What's been
awesome.
the best thing that breath work has added to your life, Britt?
Connection. So when I do the breath work, at various points with whatever I'm using it for, it's either I'm connected to myself, or if I'm doing it with other people, I just feel a lot more open and connected with the people around me, to that sense of community. There's just no space, no, sometimes in life, like things build up. And for me, it feels like it sits on my chest and things build up. And with the breath work, it just sort of crumbles and breaks that down. And then you're just like, so open to be connected with myself and other people. Yeah.
Britt, that is so well said. And what you're speaking to now is the nature of air. So all the elements have a certain nature, and the nature of air is you can't actually hold it. Like if you try to grab it, you can't hold it. So when we breathe, the things that are holding us can no longer hold us. Okay, we're naturally energetic, but we accumulate these blockages because we're in the world, and breath work removes those blockages, and it's the most effective removalist I know. And today, everybody, I want to intentionalize this session. This is not about, think more curiosity than perfection today, because what I'm going to give you is some really powerful techniques. I made a promise to myself, if I ever got into a position where I could be of service to others, I wanted to make something that people could access permanently, not just when I'm there, but afterwards. So the techniques we're going to do today is something that you can use immediately, put it in your back pocket, and for the rest of 2026, and for as long as you can breathing, you can actually, access this. But to start off with, everyone listening, who here has done breath work before, and what kind of breath work have you done? Just put it in the chat. Yes, I've done breath work. This is the type of breath work I've done. Who's got the fastest thumbs? Gold star for who gets the fastest thumbs. Simon, you've done breath work before. And he's a guitarist too, so his thumb should be really fast.
Absolutely. There you go. Who have we got? Sergey, have you done breath work before?
Britt, you've met Simon?
I think
you might have. Yeah. I once hugged him because I was so happy to see him. I was so happy I actually broke one of his ribs. Yeah, and I didn't see him for like 3 months. I didn't see him for 3 months because he was recovering, and he never told me, right? Because he was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, we've got Laura. She's saying yes, I've done like group events and longer courses, including somatic healing with the breathing. So, Laura, I've definitely experienced breath work in the context of somatic healing as well. Sergey, he says, I just breathe, no special techniques. Well, you're in for a treat today. And Simon, box breathing and the Tim Thomas special breathing. Um,
Is that the one where your ribs are broken, Simon?
Possibly. Simon, I quite often find myself going to box breathing in the middle of the day, you know, when I'm just like, you haven't breathed intentionally for a bit. Let's just do that. That's generally one of the things I go to first.
I
Which is
saw something in there
amazing.
from Amanda.
Yes, she's like, yes, I've done breath work with a breathwork detox, alternate nostril breathing. Yes, I've done that fire breathing. Oh my gosh, the fire breath. It's like having a coffee or a cacao. I feel so energized after that. I've got my mug here with me. And yeah, so good. Thanks, Amanda.
Now, Amanda is actually the breathing goddess. If you want to follow someone on Instagram, drop a follow on her. She posts regular content. Unlike me, who's inconsistent, she posts regularly, and she's actually posted in morning coffee breathwork is one of her all-time favorites. Thank you, Amanda. That's actually something from the Breathwork in
Mm.
Bed app. So it's a huge compliment that someone who's so developed in that space is integrating some of the stuff that's made down under, baby.
Love it.
Um,
So good.
and Simon says box breathing is good to control anxiety. It bloody well is. Box breathing is a nice sort of slow burn. It's sort of a nice sort of a slower on ramp. I like to do it when I'm walking. You know, hold for 4 steps, in for 4 steps, all that sort of stuff. And thank you. Acknowledge you, Amanda. TBG, the breathing goddess. TBG. So,
All right.
like I said, yeah. Keep an eye out for. I might have some other breathing people come in, so we'll keep an eye on who joins. Now,
Mm.
to start with, we like to create, before we start jumping into this, we create a baseline, okay, of where we're at, because we do that because breath can shift how you feel very fast, and if you don't, and you can often forget where you started. So you know, I mean, there's some good energy in the room right now. If I was to ask everyone a question, how good do you feel out of 10? What would that reply be? You know, 1 being terrible, 10 being awesome. Where would you place yourself? Just chuck that in the group chat. How good do you feel out of 10? And once you've, you know, given yourself an honest score, let's ask, how bad do I feel out of 10? Like if I was to ask how bad because, you know, if I was to say, okay, how bad do I feel out of 10? This is something I do with live audiences a lot, and high school students especially, just in case there's a few people in the room that says, I haven't had a chance to, I don't want to be, you know what I mean? Like, give yourself like an honest, how good do I feel? How bad do I feel? You know, if I think, oh, you know, there's a bit of back pain and all that sort of stuff, but it's good to get that measurement right now because we're going to move forward into a very rapidly changing state. Now, breathing differently, because we've been breathing our whole lives, and a lot of people in this room have already, and I appreciate everybody posting their numbers in. Good to see that, you know, Simon's honest with where he's at, and Sergey as well. And Amanda, you know, you've got your coffee, the breath under your belt already, probably this morning. So because breathing differently can make us feel differently, even good energy can feel unfamiliar to us unless we invite it in. So I've noticed that people get so much more if our system is open and we feel safe in doing these techniques. So I always start these experiences with 3 permission questions. And so everyone just, you're going to be asked 3 questions. If you agree to this, then just put a little thumbs up in the group chat. Do you give permission to your own breath to fully nourish every single cell in your physical body? If you give permission for your own breath to nourish every single cell in your physical body, just put a thumbs up in the group chat. Because this is our bodies, our breath. We're going to be breathing a certain way, which may feel unfamiliar, but it's good that we give it permission. Now, and that was easy, right? Now, the next question is, do you give permission for your own breath to fully nourish every part of your unconscious, your conscious thinking mind? Do you give permission for your own breath to nourish your conscious thinking mind? Okay, so we've given it permission to go into our conscious thinking mind. The last one is, do you give permission to your own breath, this is your breath, to fully nourish your unconscious mind? Really think about that, give it permission and invite it in. Awesome, 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 awesome. So to start with, I just want everybody to simply breathe in and out. Okay, now if you did that, and a lot of you guys are into your breath work, you know that's a conscious breath. You're aware of your inhale, you're aware of your exhale. Could all the solutions to life be that simple? Well, I put it to you, when we're unconscious of our breath and we're so connected to the things outside of us, people start breathing like this. Okay, and sometimes it's obvious, okay, but other times it's not so obvious, right? Sometimes just shallow chest breathing happens without you even knowing it. And it doesn't matter here's the thing, your body doesn't care if it's fast or slow shallow breathing. You're putting your body into a state of fight or flight when that happens. And so what I'm going to do right now is, when we breathe in, I want you to picture your breath, the 3% at the top of your breath. We want to reach that. And the 3% at the bottom of your breath. Okay, we're going to start with reaching the 3% at the top of your breath. So this time when you breathe in, consciously try and breathe in more, and try and reach that top 3%. Okay, if you want to be in the top 3% of performers, this is where it's at. You breathe into that top 3%. And notice how your body shifts. Okay, now the joy I get is introducing people to how amazing their bodies are. I'm going to show you how your own body can boost into the top 3% of your lung capacity. So what we're going to do is, when we breathe in, we're going to point our nose up as we pinch 2 fingers and thumbs together. Okay, so my hands are going to be up here, but so you can see them, but ideally you want your hands down by your side and you breathe in and pinch your fingers together. Just give that a try. Breathe in and then pinch those fingers, open, open, open. And now hold it. I just want you to stretch your shoulders, hold it and stretch, open it up, twist, 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 feel that space opening. Good idea, Britt. Move your arms around, twist, twist. Feel that space opening up, opening up. And if it feels good, let it out with a bit of a sigh. I like to shake my jaw. Britt thinks I'm a horse when I do that. I did bring my little horse thing for Britt. Britt is quite an accomplished Olympian. You aim to be in the Olympics with your horse riding, yeah? Okay. So that's what happens too. You start having fun when this up here. Your top 3%. This space here is all about energy and possibility. Okay, because watch what happens. If I'm not breathing into this top part of my lungs, my shoulders roll forward. I'm squashing them down. Bad crap in my head, I hunch over even more. So the reason I say that this top 3% is about your energy, good emotions, and actual physical strength is that your body is an electrical system. So you're not just getting more energy from the breath. When you breathe properly, you bring proper alignment into your body. So think of your brain like an electrical generator, and there's cables running through your body. But those cables are soft and squishy. And if you step like your garden hose, so if you step on your garden hose, there's no water going through. That's the way it works with our electrical circuits. When they're compressed, they don't send the energy to your muscles, and you're actually physically weaker. So I want you to consider, if you access that top 3%, you're actually not just more energized from your breath, you've actually got more physical strength through your body. When I worked with the British Special Forces, they discovered a very interesting fact, that every degree your structure is out of alignment, and so every 1 degree you lose between 8 and 12% strength. So consider this, and this is what I like about breathwork. It shows up in the real world. It's not just what some people call woo-woo. So they found that if someone could carry, say, 100 kilos on their shoulders and their structure was 1% out, then they could only carry 88 to 92 kilos, right? So imagine for a second that pinching your fingers together and shaking it out gives you 8 to 12% strength, okay? And I want that to sink in. People that are in the room right now, I want you to think of this little power button as your daily top up of energy, okay? And what we're going to do right now, I just want you to take an exhale, and when you pinch your fingers, really suck it in, but suck it in at twice the speed, all right? And I want you to hold it in there and just wriggle around in all different areas to sort of push that through. So we're going to start with an exhale, blow it out, shake it out, blow it out, shake it out, 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 out. And then get your power buttons ready, double the speed of the inhale and look to the ceiling, open, 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 breathe in more, breathe in more, breathe in more, hold it, and now just wriggle that spine, wriggle that arm, wriggle that spine, move it around the place. If you feel tension anywhere in your body, push it out, push it out, push it out, push it out. When it feels good, let it out with a Awesome. So good. All right. Let that energy go through your system. That is your energy. And that's what you're feeling. And when we let it out with a sigh, we're creating a resonant frequency. And that, like the Sergey, really works. It really, really works. It's amazing. And if you were to mark yourself how good you feel out of 10, how bad you feel out of 10, you know, things start going up. Okay. And if you can take this one technique away, there's going to be more. But if you just walk around in your day-to-day, and if something sort of, you know, something bothers me, I'm waiting in a queue for too long, I will simply discreetly in public hold it, give it a wriggle, get myself back into here. Because here's where the power is. The second I focus out there, I lose my power. The second I focus in here, I'm getting stronger and stronger. So here's a little exercise we're going to do with this technique. We're going to start with a very easy example of something that might bother you and just how powerful this technique is to clear it. And what I want you to do is think of something that mildly bothers you, okay? And when it's in your head, I want you to breathe in through your nose and really snort it like you're trying to suck it and blow that thought out the back of your head. Okay, so you're using a bit of intention, maybe a bit of aggression even, to suck that air over your nose and pull it through your head. So have your power buttons ready. Exhale. And when something mildly annoying, just mildly, not a big one, but a little one, power into those fingers and hold it, wriggle it, and shake it out, and then let out like, ah. Okay? So start with your exhale, blow it out, shake it out, blow it out, shake it out, blow it out, shake it out. And then hold your breath. And when something mildly annoying goes through your system, snort that thing out of your system, hold it, and then just shake it out of your system. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Move, 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 move. And then when you feel you can't stop that yawn or let it out with a ah. All right. Checking in. How did everybody go with that? Let it through the system. And as people are writing, like, how did that sit in your system? How did you go with that? What words would you give?
Yeah.
So consider that we accumulate these blockages all day, a bit like you got a backpack and you get a handful of gravel and you're just throwing it in the backpack. Yawning's really good, by the way. Yawning purges the vagus nerve. You got 2 vagus nerves attached to you. So when you TBG says physically and mentally lighter. We have grounded as well. Yes, we've done a little bit of work together, Sean and me. It's good to have you here in the house, Sean. I recommend you follow the Breathing Goddess too. She's got plenty of good stuff. Very consistent in her posting too. So it's good to have that consistency is the key. And what we're going to do now is just take it up a notch. Okay, because I want you to get a tangible feeling of what it is to have the power back over your control. Okay, because there's stress out there, but sometimes stress isn't just one thing, it's an accumulation of things. And the technical term for that is allostatic load. Okay, your stress, you don't know where it's coming from, but picture it like a backpack on your back. And, you know, that little stressful event, that's a handful of gravel from this. And as time goes on, it accumulates and you don't know where it's coming from, but you just feel heavy. And that's why people feel lighter, buzzy, because you're not carrying this shit anymore. We weren't born to burden ourselves. Okay. Were you born to live in a state of burden? Okay. And it is my, deepest desire to have people living free. And if you don't know about breath work, you don't know about how to do it for yourself, this world will supply you solutions at a cost. It'll cost you money and you end up becoming dependent. I was one of those guys that, lost 6 years of his life to pills because I didn't know the power of my own breath. So that's why I'm super passionate about giving people the good stuff. All right. So right now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to lift up the weight. So something not just lightly annoying, something more annoying. Okay, so for me, that would be if I'm going into a car. Actually, no, that would be pretty high level for me. If someone took my car spot that I was backing into, that would be too high level at this one. So something up from like mildly annoying to moderately annoying. Okay, so does everyone understand this? We're going to exhale. We're going to put something moderately annoying, so not mildly, and I want you to really snort that air through that nostril and blast it out the back of your head. You got that? All right. So this is gonna, you might even be pinching harder, but with Laura went too high level. Oh, I like your style though, Laura. Let's crank it to 11. Starman, let's crank it to 11. That's a musical term. That's so funny. I want to go to the gym and lift the heaviest weight first because that's what I do. That's who I am. It's a matter of who I am as a person. Don't try and suppress me. I love it. So, but thank you for sharing, Laura. I'm laughing because I do the same thing, right? Let's lift all the weights in the gym first. So you might need to take it back a notch. But you probably had a chance to see the effectiveness of what it is to clear that blockage. So what the emphasis here is accessing something that's like your windscreen wiper, okay, through the day. And if it's raining heavy, you want to clear it a lot. And this is what this breath will do. Okay, so on this one, to answer your question, Britt, before we got distracted, we're just inhaling more intensely and we're really arching our body. So my spine, if I can show you properly, is going from like a C to a D. Okay, I'm going from here to really rapidly as I'm pinching my fingers and, you know, snarling my nostrils. Okay, drawing air over those nostrils rapidly has a very potent effect on the brain. You bring the gases straight into your brain. It circumnavigates your lungs. So having that, and I just picture blowing the back of my head out like I'm trying to pull that through the back of my head. And that's probably, you know, graphic content warning. All right. So that's just my words. If you want to use your own words, yeah, and acknowledge Laura for doing your 5 a.m. workout. I was so close to doing either a 4 or 6 a.m., but instead I got ready for this. I'm doing one at 9 a.m. So yeah. So enough talk. We're going to exhale, find a moderately annoying thing, and then do that big inhale and shake your body in a way that you feel like you're loosening off that tension, and then let it out with a, and if you want to make a louder noise, you can. So if you haven't yet, blow it out, find something moderately annoying, suck it in, shake, 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 shake. Move, stretch, find out where that stuck energy is, move your body, and then when you feel like you've got it, let it out with a, yawning is good. In fact, Britt, I'd encourage you to make the loudest yawn you can. All right. Okay. And just check in with your body. Get back underneath your own skin. What's that feeling like inside your body? What's it feel like when you're, please post it in the chat, or just register. Forget the chat for a second. Presence of oxygen is the absence of disease. And I've just seen we've had the sleep genius, Rob Sweetman, join us. I think he got the time zones wrong because he's in the States too. But welcome, Rob. Rob is, like myself, background in Special Forces. He's all about sleep. I'd recommend following that guy. He's got a rather large base of operations in the US. So it's good to have you in the house, Rob. But you probably got your timings wrong, so I'm going to have to charge you with being late, mate. That's what happens in the military. All good. So notice how powerful that particular breath is to automatically, you've got access to power right now, okay? Because if we don't have access to this clearing power of your breath, then you're going to have a handful of gravel, and as time goes on, we start looking for things that just bring us comfort because we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know how to get rid of it. And, you know, I'm one of those guys. I was on pills. I took a lot of alcohol. It's like part of our economy is based on a dysregulated nervous system. There's certain people that make a lot of money from us not knowing the power of our own bodies, okay? And for me, breathwork is the quickest way to do that. So we're going to do this one last go because I'm going to do this 3 times, the Holy Trinity, so people that are listening can have this, and as they go into 2026, they're going to have a clear set of eyes moving forward, okay? Because there's us moving forward, you know, taking on these stresses that we don't even know we're taking on, and then just life gets hard and we don't know why. And then there's us going forward that is continually clearing the windscreen wipers and we can see clearly. So the people that can see clearly can make better choices. And this is the goal of this. So one more time, I'm going to talk you through it because I saw a few people join us. We're going to exhale as far as we can go. And then when we inhale, we're going to pinch our fingers and snort through our nose. okay, and then hold it and wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. The people that have just joined us, this is going to be a clearing exercise. So we're going to exhale. For you guys who've just joined, think of something that's mildly annoying. For those guys who've done this twice already, I want you to sort of up it another notch, something that's a little bit more annoying, okay? And we're going to exhale, think of the thing that's annoying, and then like try and pull that air as rapidly as possible. We're going to hold it. We're going to wriggle, 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 shake, 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 and then let it out with a big loud. In your own time, go on. I encourage you to make a big noise when you let it out. Open that jaw and let that go through your system. Let your body register just what you've done to it. Receive it into your physical body, your conscious mind, your unconscious mind. I often my stomach starts gurgling because all this tension just leaves my stomach. That's where I tend to hold a lot of mind without knowing it. Britt, you look peaceful.
I feel peaceful and giddy at the same time. Like, this is so cool. Like you've taught me this before, but not with like actually thinking about something mildly annoying. And like, there's nothing I'm not even trying to do anything with the mildly annoying thought in my, like from a mind perspective. I've just thought about it and then done the breath technique. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love it.
And if we can wire our system to, you know what, that's how I'm getting back to I call it the zone of sovereignty, the person who you are, the most authentic, sincere, peaceful, powerful, loving version of you. That's your zone of sovereignty. And these little bits of stress that accumulate can pull us out of our sovereign zone. And, you know, if I was to wish something for somebody, is for them to operate in that place of sovereignty, where they've got their peace, their power, their strength. If something tries to knock them off, that's okay. That you can get back into that zone, because, you know, we're all human. We all get knocked off our center. But if we can get back to our center, and that's essentially what healthy energy levels are. It's not being high all the time on coffee and Red Bull. It's about when you get knocked off or when you're feeling low, you're not feeling as low and you're not as destructive for as long. You can bring yourself back into center. So imagine you moving forward into 2026 and, hey, man, I have got this power that is always going to bring me back to my zone of sovereignty. Because when I'm in my zone of sovereignty, there's not a goddamn thing I can't handle. Not a thing. All right?
Yes.
And so that's why I call this the breath of possibility. You can call it what you want. I want everybody to add in the group the name they would like to give that for themselves. Like, this is yours now, okay? What name would you like to give this, just so you can own it? I mean, I'm just using my language because this is Tim Show. But to own it yourself, what name would you give it? Please post it in the group. True Sergey and little flame from Simon.
The breath of love comes to me.
Okay, that is your breath of love. Everyone's. I'm interested to see what other people would say about this. What do you think you would name it? Sean,
I think everyone's
Laura.
listening out.
Yeah, well, that can happen. That is a potent experience of breath. And this is why, if we think back to, you know, a short 30, 40 minutes ago, shake it off, Brett. Yes.
Bit of
The center,
the center, going on there.
The silver bullet, TSB, the silver bullet. It's better than the golden ribbon.
I definitely think you should like trademark it for yourself, Tim, and you know, call it your special thing, whatever that is.
Well, for me, I would either call it the breath of possibility, Because when shit becomes impossible for me, my structure goes like that. But when all the things become possible, and I'm back where I'm supposed to be. But you know, what I've learned is that it's one thing to have something for yourself. It's another thing to have people around you accessing the same power. Like I mean, to me, what mastery is like aligning your solar panel to that powerful thing. Because as a human, I'm very limited. But if I can connect to something powerfully, then that makes I'm as powerful as I am connected. And the heaviness, the stress, that's like putting shit on the front of my solar panel, you know. So if we can be the ones to clear that and align properly, then that gives us you know, our consistent power back. And Rob says, God breath? No, I like that. Well, you know, if we are going biblical, it amazes me how many professional athletes don't know how to breathe. It amazes me how many people that follow the Bible don't see breath as a spiritual discipline. Because if you look at that on biblical principle, when God made man, how did he make it? He took clay and he breathed into man's nostrils. You know, and everyone sort of just goes, oh, but that's a thing, right? Because when we breathe through our nose, we get access to this super powerful, almost non-physical state. We get above our physical bodies. And and if you really want to go there, in the New Testament, when Jesus wanted to give the Holy Spirit to his disciples, and again, you don't have to believe in God, but this was written down in a book that has influenced the world, and no one sees this. Jesus breathed on his disciples, and that's how he gave the Holy Spirit to his disciples. And everyone just steps over that, you know, and people wonder why they feel distant from the divine, because they're not embodying it. I mean, you're never going to embody something more than breath, you know. So whatever the divine breath is pretty cool. That does give it a good spin there, Britt. Well done. And yep, Rob says Nirvana, God in Hindu and Buddhism acknowledge these things. Yeah. I've normally found that Eastern religions are a lot more physically tapped into the physical side of the body. But regardless of belief system, if you can be the one that brings your sovereign self, your loving self, your divine self, your authentic self into this world, that's where I think things can start happening outside of your own body in powerful ways that I've not been able to experience by just generating power, you know, for oneself. So powerful connections inside yourself generally lend itself to powerful connections outside of ourselves. And as humans, we're as happy, powerful, peaceful as we are connected. Okay. And if we collectively are disconnected inside ourselves, that starts showing up with disconnection outside of ourselves. And, you know, just imagine this. Imagine if all the things you really wanted in this world, that connection, that peace, that power, you could actually give them to yourself. There's nothing wrong with having the car, having the property, getting the Olympic gold medal. But let's do these things knowing that that's a fun thing that I feel is I want to do, as opposed to, oh, when I get that car, that gold medal, that whatever, I'll be then feeling connected. I'll then feel the peace, the power, the love that I want. Okay. And I want people to see this is what our breath can do for us. Give us that state of connection we've all been craving. Give us that love, that divine connection, that power, that performance, that recovery. And now that you can feel it as a real thing, seeing is believing. And my goal for everybody is to have this for the rest of your life and to do it consistently. Consistency beats intensity. All right. And for that process, as you're walking around the house today, I want you to practice. I always find it handy to press those power buttons and, okay, and just do it even when you don't think you need it, and hold it and stretch it and do your thing and feel that shift. And so when you're outside the house and something happens in real time, in real life, you've got it there. And to support you on this journey when it comes to consistency, I really want I want to support people with things that will allow them to two places in the day that are super important. Your conscious mind going to sleep and your conscious mind coming out of sleep. So one of the reasons I created Breathwork in Bed is to make a very easy to use online app, okay, called the Breathwork in Bed app. You can try it for 28 days free, no pressure at all. But if you see the power in this and you want that consistency and you have that sort of turn your bed into a cloud, literally tonight. I've had insomniacs get instant results from this stuff. True story. And then getting that breath coming out of bed, like Amanda mentioned, the breath of the coffee breath in the morning. That's a very easy thing to do. So if you see the value in this, we're about to finish up. I offer you, go to your phone, app store, Breathwork in Bed app. You tell it when you want to sleep, when you want to wake up, and then it literally just falls out of your phone with notifications. That's for those people that want that consistency in the quality of sleep. We are at time right now. I want to thank you all. If you could just put in the chat what you got from today's session. If you could put in the chat what you got from today's session, that would be amazing. Just so we can see, this is actually the first time Britt and I have done something like this. So put in one word or a sentence of what you got from today. Simon's got the app. He is switched on. He didn't hold the fact that when I hugged him.
Whilst everyone is writing in what they got, I would love to acknowledge Laura. You are getting a free pair of awesome Furlanis socks. Let me show you. Some I prepared earlier. Doo-doo-doo. Because you were the special one who commented on the reel and said you'll be there, and you were here. So, beautiful lady, these are yours, coming your way. And thank you so much. I love sharing this cool gear around. I just became sponsored by this company called Shuddies, and they put my brand all on my gear. So I'm just really excited to share it with everyone. So thank you.
And Britt, thank you for your generousness with the people that followed through your side of things. I see Amanda's put peace. All right. And if I was Amanda, she goes, "Oh, I love that," in that accent she has. She always says, "I love that." It's an in-joke. I'm having a little dig at her. "Oh, I love that." It didn't go unnoticed, Amanda. Look, really appreciate everyone being here. We're going to wrap this up. I would, keep breathing, keep those things going, and pay the goodness forward.
Big love.
Now, the next thing is, how do I close it? Hang on.
Just press the X.
Okay, actually, I just see one more comment here from Sean. Using the app tool, love the actionable guidance. I can bring those anxious moments and pop up throughout the day. Awesome.
Oh,
Laura,
welcome,
yay,
Laura.
thanks, Britt. Love this morning's session. And Amanda's had a bit of a giggle. And she said,
Sergey,
I
you're
love
welcome.
I probably didn't do your accent any favors, but the breathing goddess, follow her actually, and Rob Sweetman, the sleep genius, I'd recommend following him too. All right, peace out.